Hello, all. Hello, all. And welcome back to another episode of Real Talk. I am your host, Officer Antoine Thomas. Yep, that's me. You already know what I'm going to say. You already know how I'm going to say it. Listen, I'm very excited today to bring a powerful, power packed episode to you today. But before I do that, I always say, as you have been watching and listening to the conception of Real Talk, I've always said this: please continue to like, share, and subscribe this podcast along with all of the latest episodes. And if you have not had the opportunity yet to listen to the last episode entitled A Fair and Impartial Judge, you need to go back and watch it. Set some time aside as me and my friend, colleague, church member had an opportunity to sit down to discuss his platform, to discuss his views, to discuss his vision as he bids for the seat of Wake County District Court Judge in the district of 10F Frank. That person was Asia Prince. Had opportunity on yesterday to pass out literature at the voting polls as we are in the early voting stages here in North Carolina with a huge demographic of makeup of people on the Democrat, Republican, and unaffiliated side. So it is all hands on deck. I had the opportunity to go ahead and do that for Asia Prince as I was representing a sheriff candidate who I'm going to be talking about today on this show. But I would say if you had not had the opportunity yet to go back and listen, please do that. And it definitely appeals to all of the voters here in Wake County, predominantly on the western portion of Wake County, as that is the area that Asia Prince is running to have that seat. So please go back and listen to what he said. We did have some audio technicalities, but we worked through them. And I'm convinced that you will be able to hear and understand where he's coming from. Now, as I always say on Real Talk, please continue to like, share, and subscribe this podcast along with all the greatest episodes. I know I said that earlier, but I wanted to reinstate it. Now, today, I have, again, a very important show for you today. I am dedicating this entire segment to my friend, my former leader, the person of Donnie Harrison, who was the former Wake County Sheriff for 16 years. He is bidding also for his seat back. You have heard him come on the Real Talk, okay, on Apple and Spotify, Google Podcasts, all those platforms. And you heard him last year. You heard him in the year of 2022 talk about his platform, what he's planning on doing. If you have been watching Table Talk with Donnie Harrison, his podcast show for the campaign, you have heard him and I sit down and discuss and work through issues that the citizens have questions about. And you heard honest answers about how he's going to fix, how he's going to come in, how he's going to lay things on the line. And I am privileged also to have the opportunity to serve on the Donnie Harrison campaign. What a great privilege. I am definitely enjoying the ride. Now, this election season is very, very important, okay, as we go through the midterms. I would even state the biggest midterm decisions will be made in 2022 and on November the 8th in the history of midterms elections throughout the United States. I believe it is very important that we understand that our country as a whole is in a battle. We are in a battle as it pertains to human rights. We are in a battle as it pertains to the rights of the unborn. We are in a battle as it pertains to the rights of our children in schools. But we are in a huge battle as it pertains to law and as it pertains to order. But you do have someone great who is running to take his rightful place, running to take his seat back. And that is, again, Donnie Harrison. Today's show is entitled, You Have a Sheriff in Donnie Harrison. And I am appealing to every Wake County voter wide that you have the opportunity, if you have not yet done it yet, to cast your vote for Donnie Harrison. I'm going to be telling you why I believe you should cast your vote. And to those who have just made it into I almost said to the United States, I meant to say here in North Carolina, in the last 3 to 4 years, you have understood and may not understand who Donnie Harrison is. This show appeals to you as well. We're going to be talking about things that matter here today on Real Talk. And I want to dive right in. I don't want to waste any time. I want to get down to business. But before I do that, let me tell you that I have served as a member on the Police Benevolence Association, aka PBA. I had the privilege to serve on the executive board for approximately 11 years. And let me tell you that we have worked tirelessly, meeting with legislators as it pertains to different candidates who's running every um, election cycle. We sit down at a round table and we discuss issues that are pertaining to law enforcement. We discuss our concerns and we try to see where the candidate views lie, where their mindset is, and these folks ultimately will get the endorsement of the PBA, which is the largest law enforcement association in North Carolina. They hold a lot of weight. They hold a lot of prestige. So I've had the privilege to sit down with many legislators who have went up for reelection and those who were brand new to that seat, asking for the endorsement of the PBA. And one of our main concerns has always been for the hearts of those who are serving at the sheriff's deputy level, serving at the sheriff's office. Okay, very unique. It is something that is different from the police department makeup. Okay, that particular agency under the and I know I did a show entitled the different ramifications. I talked about the different titles. I talked about the different duties of a police officer, state highway patrolman, all the way to a sheriff. So if you had the opportunity to listen to that, go back. It's probably in season 1 or 2. I cannot remember, but it's very important that you go back and do your homework and understand where the sheriff duties and the sheriff's abilities lie at, and how they align with the way police work is being conducted. And I will say there are some things that are a little bit outdated that need to be tweaked. And PBA, we have tried to do just that. And one of the biggest things within the sheriff's ramifications and their duties and their role and their responsibility and their power and their authority is serving at the will of the sheriff. And some of you may ask, what does that mean? That means that you serve at the will of he or she, being the sheriff, and at any point they can say that your services is no longer needed, wanted, and they have the legal right to terminate you. And that's what we have seen in the current administration at the Wake County Sheriff's Office. It has done much damage. Many lives have been destroyed. Many employees have had to seek other relationships with other agencies and move on to other departments. I'm a product of that, and I can tell you that it is the worst feeling. It is the worst thing to have to go through, and the sheriff can actually walk you out of that office, and I'm saying that literally, with no just cause reason to terminate you. It's at the will. We serve at the will. He or she is an elected official, and we all know how elected official positions work. As a new elected official takes a certain seat, he or she brings their staff members, their administration in, and of course, if that person loses that seat, we all know what happens. A new administration comes in, and obviously the old administration goes out. It is up to that sheriff, and I'm focusing on law enforcement right now. It is up to that said sheriff to keep who he or she wants to keep. And we saw this time and time again uh, with the current administration. It is still being done. And I believe in my heart that no employee, especially in the ramifications of law enforcement, deserves to be terminated, deserves to have to work at fear and intimidation at the levels that they have to, because we have a unique job as it is. We have a job that is one um, most people couldn't do. It is stressful. It is a high volume job. It is a job that is based on a roller coaster of emotions because you're going from one call to the next. Some calls are good, some calls are bad. Unfortunately, in law enforcement, you never know what the next call may be. And so we see that at times um, people can't take the job. And that's why you see a lot of people. I've heard from many people, they still tell me, I can never do your job. And I always say to them, yes, law enforcement is a unique job and not everybody can do it. And I definitely respect a person who admits that. And I'm all for trying something new. And if it's not for you, it's not for you. But what I want to say, as I stated a second ago, no one should work in a level of fear and intimidation with any job, especially at the level of being a law enforcement officer, especially at the level. Now, I am a firm believer that in this particular race, we have to look at all things law enforcement as it pertains to the sheriff's race. Okay, I'm excluding all other races. I'm talking about the race of the sheriff. And what I mean by race, and let's be very clear, I'm not talking about color. I am talking about running a campaign, a candidate. Okay, the sheriff's candidate. There's two candidates here that are bidding for seats here in North Carolina. You have one on the Democratic side, you have one on the Republican side, that being Donnie Harrison. And before I make this statement, I want to let you know, as I stated about the PBA, we have been fighting, and this appeals to every law enforcement officer, even if you're not serving at the level of a sheriff's deputy, okay, or you're working inside of a sheriff's office. Understand that the PBA is still continuing to work tirelessly to have the amendment changed or tweaked as it pertains to serving at the will of the sheriff. Now, I can tell you that sitting at the table, many legislators have vowed to decline that particular offer because it is one that is very political, and we do understand that. But if you never had the opportunity to experience it, if you don't know anybody close to you that have experienced it, then you will never know. See, one thing I am convinced of that people, guess what? They don't know that it's raining until they start getting wet. And guess what you do? You grab a jacket or umbrella. But how about preventing to have to worry about grabbing a jacket or umbrella and at times looking at the weather and understanding ahead of time what that looks like? And you say, well, what does that mean? You have to do your research. You have to understand where different abilities, different authority lies. And I think that here in 2022, as it pertains to the sheriff's race, a lot of citizens have been exposed to see what exactly, what type of powers, authority that a sheriff really has. And I've been hearing from many people, and they are telling me they have said I did not know the scope and the level of authority a sheriff has, and it shouldn't be taken for granted. And I know for a fact that when Donnie Harrison is elected, you will see a difference in the climate. You will see a difference in morale at the sheriff's office. You will see a difference in personalities, and you will see a difference of people living their lives to the best of their abilities because there'll be no stress of whether they're getting fired today or tomorrow because we're going to take that away. And today's show, I'm going to be explaining more of that. But I want to go back to what I stated before. Uh, North Carolina PBA members, we're working hard to change that legislation. We'll keep fighting for the due process of deputies as it pertains to the sheriff's office because we believe that they should do their job and do it to the best of their ability without fear and, again, intimidation. And I'm going to move on from that. But I'm also a firm believer that we should be voting the person, okay, and never the party. You should never be voting just based on your party. Okay, remember that, and I've spoken to a lot of people at the polls, and I've told them when they're trying to make their decision, and some said, nope, 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 I'm voting Democrat. I say, in law enforcement, we should look past the D and the R, and we should vote the person, not the party, because law enforcement is very unique. And we say this time and time again, we're not going into or to a call, knocking on someone's door who have called us and state, hey, before we get anything kicked off, before we figure out what's going on, I need to know your party affiliation. We don't do that in law enforcement. It is all about protecting and serving. And so, don't care who you are, what kind of walk of life you may have traveled upon. We are there to be a problem solver. We're there to be a solution. We're there to provide help. We're there to provide resources. That's what law enforcement does. And I wish that the mindset of voters would change. And if you understood that better deep down inside, I guarantee you, you would make a better decision on who you want to be your next sheriff. And I have talked to many others also who believe the same thing that I'm saying, and I do respect that. And I want to move on, but we as law enforcement officers, keep in mind we're not politicians. Okay, we are sworn to uphold the laws. We are sworn to uphold state and federal, and so we don't care where your political party lies. When you call for help, you're going to get it. I'm going to digress there. Today's show, you have a sheriff in Donnie Harrison. I know you're saying, when are you getting started? I've been started. But we have to lay a foundation. We have to set the precedents that people have got to stop, got to wake up. You got to realize that things are happening all around you. And until you become a great solution and not the problem, you will see crime continue to rise. But if you want to be a solution, vote Donnie Harrison for a safer Wake County. 42% of the crime was down throughout Wake County under the leadership of Donnie Harrison. Okay. And you need to go back and look at our website. You need to go back and look at the statistics. You need to read his platform. But I will say this: if you want to say for Wake County, vote Donnie. And I'm moving on. So why did I choose this particular topic? Why? I'm glad that many of you are asking that question. And I'm going to explain it to you because I know Donnie Harrison's heart. I know where his thoughts and views come from. Why is that? Because I work within his administration as it pertains to the campaign, and I'm very proud of that. I am very happy to be the voice of reason. Many deputies reach out to me and want to know where Donnie Harrison stands on views, policies, and procedures, and I'm glad to tell them the things that I'm privy to tell them. I don't tell them everything, but I tell them things that I'm privy to tell them. And the main thing I tell them is you can go all the way back from 2002 when he was sworn in, all the way till 2018 when he left office. Did you see the things that the rumors are saying? And they tell me no. I said, well, that's your answer right there. You know what type of person you have in Donnie Harrison. Okay. We know that. And I've had the pleasure not only serving on the campaign now, but I've had the pleasure to work under Sheriff Donnie Harrison. And as he says all the time, work alongside of Sheriff Harrison as an entry level sheriff's deputy. Worked my way up to the rank of first class deputy. Went on to become a master deputy, and I worked in a couple different divisions as it pertains to crime prevention. I did some domestic violence work, and I had the opportunity not under Donnie Harrison, but this was a demotion for me under the Baker administration. However, it was a great demotion in my eyes. I had the opportunity to work at the SRO level, school resource officer. So I understand how that looks. And Donnie Harrison has a big heart for children. He has a big heart for children. He has a big heart for the safety of children. And I want to let you know that Donnie Harrison has revamped some things as it pertains to school safety. He believes that does matter, and that's number one on his list. Every kid deserves to go to school and not have to worry about whether an intruder is going to come in and wreak havoc on that school. And I can tell you that we're looking for a safer Wake County. Under a safer Wake County, you have safer schools. Okay, so understand that you do have a sheriff in Donnie Harrison. You just got to go out and vote. You have to go out and make the right decisions as it pertains to that. I can tell you, working under Sheriff Harrison, I had the opportunity to watch his leadership skills. Had an opportunity to see how he promoted people based on work ethics, based on their morals, based on their character. And I can tell you that I had the opportunity to be promoted under Donnie Harrison, and I'm very proud of that. And that is one of the reasons why I'm serving on this campaign because I believe in what Donnie Harrison is doing. I believe in what Donnie Harrison wants to do. And I tell the voters when I'm out at the polls, I tell them give them the same speech. I would not be on a Donnie Harrison campaign team if I did not believe in the whole entire picture that uh, Mr. Harrison is painting. And I'm excited. I wish I can, expose all the great things that we have planned because it is all good. It is all to enhance the sheriff's office. It is all to make the employees feel valued, to be able to express their worth. And I'm looking forward to seeing that happen in December. But I have got to tell you something. Donnie Harrison has a big heart. Many of you know this. Many of you know this that work with him. His supporters know it. Uh, Everybody understands where Donnie Harrison's views lie. He is a cop's cop. He is a law enforcement officer through and through. Now, I got to tell you as it pertains to promotions, and I know that Donnie Harrison's opponent would definitely tell you, Willie Rowe, that he was fortunate enough to have the opportunity to be promoted under Donnie Harrison. That's the type of man that Donnie Harrison is. He believes in giving people chances. He believes in allowing people to grow. And I'm sure if you spoke to Willie Rowe, he would tell you the same thing. Now, Donnie Harrison has given everyone, in my opinion, because I've seen it, the opportunity to rise up, be successful, again, show your worth. I've seen Donnie personally, okay, promote people from all types of, again, walks of life, race, gender, does not matter. I am a product of that. Like I told you earlier, if you're doing a good job, Donnie's willing to take you to the next level and advance you. And he's going to do just that um, in December. Now, I can recall an instance when Donnie brought me in the office and gave me the opportunity to advance. And he set me down and told me some things that he wanted to see happen. And he left me with whatever you do, don't make me regret this opportunity. And I took that to heart, and I want to prove to Sheriff Harrison that he made the right decision. Months later, he came back to me and told me personally, pulled me aside and said, "You're doing a great job. Continue to do the work that you're doing." And I took that very literally because to me, that was a special moment. He did not have to do that. But what that let me understand that he had been watching, he had been listening, and he had been asking. That's a good leader. And that moment up until this day, I will never forget it. And I'm grateful. And as I again sit at the table along with all the members that make up the Donnie Harrison team, I am proud to listen to the ideas. I am proud to give my ideas. I am proud to be privy to the information and to see the things that will unfold that we have put on paper. And I'm looking forward to see these things come to light in December. Now, you notice my shirt. These are the official campaign shirts, the Donnie team, and I'm proud to serve on it. And I'm not wearing it just to wear it. I'm wearing it with pride and dignity because Donnie Harrison is and will be your next sheriff. I'm not done. I've just started. But I want you to know that if you want a true leader, that's who you need to elect, Donnie Harrison. Now, will Donnie clean up house? And my answer to that, I've had this proposed, had deputies contact me and ask me this, and the question is no. You should not, again, have to work under stress, fear, and as Donnie always stated, continue to do the job that you're doing, do it to the best of your ability. And my appeal to every deputy, every employee that's working at the sheriff's office, continue to be great, continue to do your job, continue to go ahead and support who you believe that you need to support. And I'll say that only. I won't say any more as it pertains to everyone working and getting along. That is the main focus of Donnie Harrison's campaign, his platform. Uh, we must continue to strive to make that sheriff's office the best it has ever been. And of course, under Sheriff Donnie's leadership, the sheriff's office was respected. We had many of people applying, leaving other agencies to come work under Donnie Harrison. They heard so much about him, and I'm saying it because I was one of them. I worked at a agency that was thriving and growing here in the western part of Wake County, and my career was doing fantastic. But I heard about a man named Donnie Harrison. Had the opportunity to meet a man named Donnie Harrison, and I watched other people, even at my agency, leave the agency to go work for Donnie Harrison. It wasn't because the agency they're working at wasn't doing well or that it was bad, but everybody wanted to get a piece of the Wake County Sheriff's Office. They heard great things, and I'll be the first one to tell you I thoroughly miss it. I'm looking forward to coming back. But you do have a leader. You do have a sheriff in Donnie Harrison. Harrison. Now, working the polls for the last few weeks, I had a question proposed to me. Me and another colleague were at the polls, and a wonderful, nice Caucasian woman came up to me. She already had spoken to the other gentleman who happens to be a black gentleman who serves also on the Donnie Harrison campaign. And I'm bringing up race for a reason. Listen and follow me. This white lady actually stopped me after she spoke to um, the gentleman. She came to me and said, I said the same thing I'm about to tell you to your colleague out front. She said, I'm very, very surprised as I look at two black men who is representing a white candidate in the person of Donnie Harrison, and I see that his opponent is a black man. And she said, I'm not trying to be a race baiter, I'm not trying to make light, but my question to you as I go into the polls, why are you representing the white man rather than the black man? And I gave her specific and clear and concise reasons. And one of the things I mentioned to her, I said, listen, Donnie Harrison's opponent appears to be a good guy. I know him as well, but I said what I don't know is his policies, his procedures, his platform, his decisions, because I don't serve on the campaign, never worked for him. But I can tell you, I've worked alongside of Donnie Harrison. He hired me years ago, and I know his heart, I know his vision, and I serve on the campaign, so I'm privy to the information. And I can tell you that all these things that Donnie Harrison wants to do, as far as making safer school, safer Wake County, make your home safer, your county safer, your city safer. Um, I said, why not? Why not vote for Donnie Harrison? But I said those are the reasons why I'm serving on Donnie Harrison campaign because I believe in him. And when she left speaking to me, I'm convinced that her mind was made up. And she said, no, those are all great reasons. And at the end of the day, I said, I'm only here to tell you the truth. And I said, understand this, we're not paid poll workers. We actually believe in what Donnie Harrison is doing. See, I don't need to get paid, and I will never get paid to tell um, someone else about a candidate if I don't believe in it. It's not about money. And I told her, we're out here because we believe we've worked under Donnie Harrison. We know what he's going to do. We know what he has done. And we can guarantee you that if you cast your vote for Donnie Harrison, you will be making the right decision and you will see things turned around at the Wake County Sheriff's Office. And I left her with that. I didn't say anymore. I moved on. She understood. And I appeal to every person now that if you're dedicated, your heart's in the right place. I'm speaking to the deputies, civilians, and detention officers at the Wake County Sheriff's Office. If your heart's in the right place, continue to go out, do your job safely. Keep in mind that you do have a great leader in Donnie Harrison. And I'm getting ready to end momentarily, but I want to leave you with 10 reasons why you should vote for Donnie Harrison. And this is for every member, every citizen in Wake County who has not had the opportunity to cast your vote. Donnie Harrison was previously the sheriff of the Wake County Sheriff's Office for 16 years. That's one main reason. He's a proven leader. Under his leadership, some of the things that took place was the Citizens Well Check program, which is a beautiful program, Project Lifesaver, the advanced promotional process to rank to the next level as it pertains to sworn and non-sworn folks. The increase of deputies on patrol, okay, Donnie Harrison is a working sheriff. He responded to calls. You saw him out there driving around in his black Caprice. You saw him knock on your door. You saw him respond to emergency calls. You saw him on the news. Should I say more about it? You know he will continue to be a working sheriff. No matter the incident, no matter the time of night, morning, you saw Sheriff Donnie pull up on the scene. Why not vote for Sheriff Donnie? Sheriff Donnie was conservative with your taxpayers' money. He did not believe in wasteful spending, useful spending, unneeded spendings. Sheriff Donnie put money where it needed to be, and that was in the levels of training, the equipment, the tools that we used as a law enforcement officer in detention to get the job done. And Sheriff Donnie would do just that again. Sheriff Donnie was a big supporter of the men and women serving at the Wake County Sheriff's Office, whether you were sworn or non-sworn. Donnie Harrison advocated for better raises, for better pay at the commissioner's level when he went to his monthly commissioners meetings. And you heard him state on the record he will continue to fight for better pay. He will continue to fight for advancement of more employees. He will continue to fight for the retirement system to come back as it pertains at the Wake County local government level. Donnie Harrison has served over 50 years in law enforcement. You know that. He says it all the time. That is very important. And let me tell you something. His heart, his energy has not dwindled down as it pertains to law enforcement. The man loves it. And that's all he wants to do is serve the citizens of Wake County, serve the men and women that are serving inside of the Wake County Sheriff's Office. Donnie is a relentless, unselfish leader who came from humble beginnings. You know, he grew up in Beargrass, North Carolina. He talks about it all the time. Again, he has over 50 years in law enforcement. Hey, that's experience. Why not? Donnie has a big heart. I stated earlier. He genuinely cares about the people that he uh, is serving. He genuinely cares about the people that are working alongside of him within that office. Okay? Donnie has the mindset to serve, the heart to serve, the willingness to serve. I've seen it with my own eyes. I see it every day when we all sit down at the table and discuss moving the sheriff's office forward. Number 9, our campaign has a blueprint already to get to work on day one. That blueprint is ready, signed, sealed, and all it needs to do now is be delivered. Day one, Sheriff Donnie stated it on the news. He stated it on commercial ads. He is ready to take office and get to work on day one. He's ready to put the sheriff's office back on the road to success. As Donnie often states in his speeches, he is ready to get to work immediately. Guess what? Sheriff Donnie's vision is clear, it is concise, and his plan is ready to be implemented. Now, number 10, Donnie Harrison has pledged to triple the number of deputies serving on patrol. Day one, he has uh, um, vowed to do this. You will see him out on the roads. You most likely will see everyone who make up the administration under the Donnie Harrison campaign out on patrol serving. Main focus right now at your local sheriff's office, and I'm appealing again to Wake County citizens. You have approximately 5 or 6 deputies that patrol your streets, your county roads. And I can tell you back when I was serving up until 2018, guess what? We had about 26 deputies working the road. I'm a product of that as well. I can tell you that. We had upwards of 30 deputies working the road. Went from 30 all the way down to 6. You do the math. You make your decision based on everything I'm saying. Donnie's plan is to open the floodgates on employment. He states all the time the men and women who served at the Wake County Sheriff's Office who has never served that wants a job. If you have a mindset to get to work, if your vision is clear, your heart's pure, if you have a good record, good standing, Donnie Harrison says, come and apply. And for the folks that lost their jobs, unbeknownst to them, who are doing the right thing, who has a heart for the sheriff's office, who wants to come back, you heard Donnie Harrison, not my words, his words. He said you can have the opportunity to reapply. What better person do you want serving the office who tells you that? That is a good deal. Donnie is on record for saying anyone who is left in good standing, again, terminated at that level of the sheriff's office or quit due to your stress levels or pressure from stress working on the current administration, you are encouraged to apply for the office of sheriff, meaning you can come and work at the sheriff's office. Not for you to be the sheriff, but for you to come and apply for the office of the sheriff. There's only one sheriff, and that will be Donnie Harrison. I've said enough. I've put out enough. But I want to leave you with this. Some may ask, why would you not vote for Donnie Harrison for your sheriff of Wake County? My appeal to you is, if you do it, you will see things get better. You will see crime decrease. You will see the number of deputies serving on patrol increase. You will see the morale of that sheriff's office increase. And I want to say, every myth that is going around, every rumor that is going around that is negative, I want you to hear from me. It's not true. Let's go in with an open mind. Let's go in with a clean slate, and let's get the job done. Let's get back to law and order. Let's get back to making the sheriff's office a great one. And as I end this segment, I want to leave you with one more thought. This may maybe help you make your final decision as it pertains to voting for your sheriff of Wake County. At this time, what is left of the Wake County Sheriff's Office is a bunch of crumbs. In my opinion, Donnie Harrison is the only candidate that's in this sheriff's race who has the experience, a professional team made of retirees, made up of current sworn law enforcement officers, made up of businessmen and women serving on the campaign. Great ideas, great vision, great mindsets. Why would you not vote Donnie Harrison? And I want to leave you with this right here, and I'm leaving. I know that Donnie Harrison's ready to take office. I know that he does miss working at the sheriff's office. I know that he does miss sitting down and hearing and speaking with the members that make up the sheriff's office. And one more thing. I know that Sheriff Donnie Harrison missed being your sheriff of Wake County. He missed the time spent with the citizens, his supporters of the Wake County Sheriff's Office. And as Sheriff Harrison always said, his doors will be open to the public and to the members of the Wake County Sheriff's Office that are serving in that capacity. All right, I'm done. I am done. I think I've left no stones unturned. Listen, I've really enjoyed bringing this particular episode to you. As I always say, reach one, teach one. And until we meet again, and until you've heard from me again, God, please continue to bless our men and women that are serving in our armed forces here in the United States. God, continue to bless each and every citizen. God, please continue to bless the men and women who are serving in blue. My colleagues, myself. And Lord, I like to say a special prayer that every voter will make a wise and smart decision, not based on biases, not based on their party, but they will vote the person who deserves this opportunity to make the Wake County Sheriff's Office a great success and to make Wake County a safer Wake County. And until then, I have some very great guests that are coming on the show in this particular season. I'm happy to bring it to you. This is season 4. I am your host, Officer Antoine Thomas, and you do have a sheriff in Donnie Harrison. I'll see you very soon.